All right, show me the rally. Just go for it if you got it. Nope. All right, so you're saying there's a chance. Oh, it's gonna bring back 2 more casks. Yeah, let's go. Oh, please don't have like a. Or no, it doesn't matter, right? It'd have to be like a. I just pass and win. Is this happening? Yeah! Cosmic here, and welcome back to another Legends of Runeterra video. If you thought Burn was gone, well, it's back, just in a little different variation of it. So, full credit for this version goes back to Capada, and this is actually a set 1 deck known as Prankster Burn. So what is it? Basically, you're going to swarm the board, you're going to go wide. Earlier plays are going to be like Ravenous Butcher into Cursed Keeper, so you can swing for 7 damage on turn 2. And then the card that probably a lot of people just aren't familiar with is going to be Phantom Prankster. So yes, a lot of people will say, well, oh, what about the new card from set 2 that also drains your opponent 1 and you gain 1? It's too slow. You don't want it. It's trash. We got to bring back Phantom Prankster. This was the card of cards for this archetype. So again, whenever another ally dies, deals 1 to the enemy nexus. So this is all your ephemeral stuff, right? You have cards like Blighted Caretaker, which was like the biggest pickup for set 2, because now suddenly you're removing units from your opponent's board, you're clearing the way for your other attackers, and you're still dealing damage over the top. So there is a lot of ways that you get that little bit of extra damage. Now you might be looking at this, you might be saying, okay, well, it's all 2s and 3 drops, but then what else do we have to close out the game? Well, that's where Progress Day comes in, and this, I go back between having 2 or 3 in the deck list, because you really do burn out of a lot of cards. And right, you have Glimpse Beyond, which can help you come back if they have like a removal spell. Obviously, if you're Prankster, they're going to try to remove it. You draw 2 cards, maybe gets you a little bit more value in, but ultimately, you're just trying to maximize the amount of damage you can get per card, which in some cases is going to mean you just play a Prankster into the Haunted Relic and deal 3 damage, right? This becomes like a weird get excited. And Haunted Relic is a card I think I need to spend a little more time talking about, because in certain matchups, this is either going to be a Callista enabler, so right, you're going to want to bank 2 spell mana. They try to play something on 3. They don't have enough mana for like a get excited. If they have the gotcha for 2, sure, it hurts, but you gotta take your chances, right? In that case, you play Callista at the end of the turn, your 3 relics dies, and she flips, and that just sets you up for so much better pacing throughout the rest of the game. Because again, she's fearsome, she's very hard to kill in combat, and you're just getting more stuff back, which again is then going to work with Prankster, right? So really just trying to figure out where's the most amount of damage that we can get from this. And then we have things like good old P and Z, right? Boom Kuruki, you attack, deal 2 damage, Mystic Shot, 2 more damage to the face, get excited, 3 damage to the face. So this is an interesting one to play, because you have to know, when am I using Mystic Shot for removing a threat so other units can get through, or when does it all go face? Now, most of the time, it's going to end up going face, because you do want to try to race your opponent down before you lose too much, right? Because keeping in mind that when you have things like Used Cask Salesman, you're also going to be hurting yourself with these caustic casks. However, if you have this plus Prankster, then your opponent's taking 2 damage for the 1 that you're taking per cask, right, on the backswing. So there are some times where you get really, really low in health, and it is a kind of awkward, and it bricks your hand, and you're like, well, we're both gonna die. But I actually had somebody tonight, so we went 9-1. I probably should have mentioned that up front. So farmed Karma Ezreal decks, like not completely one-sided. Frostbite mid-range, where just like if they get a slow start, you just run over them. So I think it's pretty well positioned, at least are like day 1 of 1.6. But Caustic Cask is also nice here, because in these Scouts matchups, it's just free blockers, so that you're preserving your life total that way. So it really does so much for you in various matchups. So I just love the versatility that this list provides based on some of these tech choices that we have. So the other thing I want to mention again is the Bark Beast is like your other 1-drop that it's kind of awkward to fit into this list, but when it becomes a 1-drop 3/3, it's just very good. Again, keeping in mind you're going to be setting up turns where it's like Bark Beast, some other thing you don't care about dying, into blighted caretaker, so your bark piece become 3/3s, and your blighted caretakers are giving you 2 other challengers, so that 3 damage is getting through. So this deck is really all about just getting multiples of 3 damage in, it turns out, and getting your opponent's life to 0, obviously, as quick as you can before closing out otherwise. So the other thing I will say, again, Haunted Relic is kind of the weakest, I feel, at least in the list right now. But everything else feels pretty spot on. Again, keeping in mind, I just accidentally removed one, so the Phantom Prankster is actually 3. And then again, I'll have a link to the code in the description, or a link to the deck code in the description as well, if you want to look for it. So beyond that, kind of what are some mulligan tips? So obviously, Ravenous Butcher and your Cursed Keeper are very, very good. For 2 drops, Boom Crew Rookie or Elise, you don't mind. But if you see anything else, like Blighted Caretaker is kind of a weird one to keep unless you have a free Cursed Keeper. And then anything on the higher end it's super generic to say, but like just throw it away. So like even Callista in some matchups, if I know I'm going against a very heavy removal PNZ, just throw it away. Try to focus on your early game a little bit more. Where if you know they're playing like triple get excited, you know, triple gotchas, maybe you have to bait it out a different way. So in that case, you're looking for Glimpse Beyond, because you can punish their removal and then still draw a couple extra cards, right? So against control decks, make sure you're finding those Glimpse Beyonds, because they are super, super important. And then Progress Day, probably just a given. You want to shuffle it away and, you know, hopefully draw it in the mid game. So I think this is one where this could go up to 3 just because of how good it is for the deck and how important it can be. But I think at least for like a first night of play testing, it's a pretty solid list. And it did well for me, right? I went 8-1 or 9-1. I'll have to go double check Mobilytics, because I don't think Mobilytics has been not catching all of my games recently, so that's been a little bit of a bummer. So again, really quickly, I'm trying to get out an extra video, you know, during the week, so I just want to do a really quick rundown of the deck. Obviously, at the start of a new meta, 1.6, it's very hyped. Spirit Blossom is awesome, but aggro is always going to do very, very well when people aren't planning for it. So at the time of recording this is a deck that probably survives till the weekend, and then people will adjust. So if you're watching this the day of it's published, definitely throw this together, jam some games with it. I think it's very well positioned right now, but I think, you know, 3, 4, 5 days from now when the meta starts to adjust a little bit, it's going to start to fall off in favor again, especially if you're seeing a lot of Shadow Isles ramp control. I should say Shadow Isles Freljord, right? So they have Aeons, they have Graphs. That's just going to be the auto lose for you. So you have some really good matchups right now, but if people are playing Warmothers and stuff, you just surrender and go to the next game. It's really, really poorly positioned. So with that, I have one game from the stream. I hope you'll enjoy it, but otherwise, please make sure to like and subscribe for future Legends of Runeterra content. It certainly helps me out a ton, but otherwise, I stream Monday through Friday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern at Cosmic Plays on Twitch, so I hope to see you there sometime. All right, otherwise, enjoy the rest of your day. Be safe, and I'll see you next time. Cheers. Almost like I... almost like I said exactly that. All right, so... Ooh, we actually do have the combo. I feel like this is fine. I wish we had a Butcher. But, like, Boom Crew Rookie is a pretty good open threat, too. Alright, well, we got a better 2-drop anyways. Is it better? Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Elise instead. It gives us a Spider token, which can help level up Callista as well, assuming they don't have, like, a Get Excited here or something like that. Usually they just play I, and then this can at least get us the 2 damage through. And then they can chump block the Spider if they want, but I don't imagine that they do. Seriously, this board music is just so relaxing. I can't wait to see what the Nightfall version is. So if you watch the video, there's like a purple, it's called Nightfall, is like the darker tint of it. There's like a purpley, more violet-y, gosh darn it, drawing 2 of these are terrible, board that you can get coming out here soon. I'm definitely not going to let them just, yeah, we definitely have to keep advancing our board here. Static Shock would be annoying.
expecting callers.
I think we played both these out anyways. Yep, there it is.
You dare!
I can't imagine that this Bark Beast is actually going to become a 3/3, but we will we'll take our chances here. So at this turn, we actually just want to try to force out the Callista and Haunted Relic turn, so we're just going to go for an open swing here and see what they do.
Spitter out from the darkness.
Could be like another Static Shock and then into Mystic, and that'd be awkwardly ideal for us. Or a Gotcha. Cool. Good enough.
We shall pierce their treasonous hearts.
And if they have like double Gotcha, I'll cry up. So notably here, we still need to get a better unit to get back off the Callista, but what's really nice about this is she's going to go to 4 HP, which means she gets around Get Excited now and stuff. So Callista is a pretty tanky threat for our opponent. Oh, right, because they can't draw 2 cards.
I thought you'd never ask.
Oof. So this is probably a way to remove Callista, I would have to imagine.
It's late.
Which, if that's the case, we want them to have to take a damage removing Callista. Yep. All right. Yeah, it's definitely gonna be.
Charge.
There's definitely gonna be another one here. Because if we get to attack with her, it's gonna be linked, right? So it doesn't. Ooh. Okay, we will just take the open attack and be happy. Oh, we're just getting. We're getting a single spirit back. Oh, that feels pretty terrible. But she has fearsome, so he can't do. He can't block it at least. So it's probably like a concussive palm that's coming our way. We're still threatening quite a bit of damage, and the Prankster is still getting in that burn on the back end.
Obstacle, meet gauntlet.
SI1 could be decent. I just really want to get one of the ones from the event pass. All of them look beautiful. You can tell within the event pass too, they planned out some of those card backs for the new, or the August 5th board, I should say. Okay, that's interesting. I'm gonna go to 9. I think we kill the Ezreal because otherwise he attacks back and gets our Boom Crew, and that's kind of annoying. So we'll play like our other Boom Crew rookie, and then we'll just shot this. Okay, well. Yeah, because that would have put him into flip range. I guess the flip wouldn't matter as much. We do get Boom Crew rookie back now off of Callista, which is super nice. We don't want to waste the Relic here, so this might just end up being... I guess this could have been 2 damage we might have missed out on, right? Because they most likely want to answer the Prankster and then go for the rest of our targets. And, I mean, just drawing 3 Boom Crew is... Card is still good! Dealing 2 damage on attack over the top. Card is still great.
Spirit gives to those who listen.
Yep. Gosh darn it. Or I guess he can only do 1 here, so that doesn't matter.
I can do this.
Yeah, this should be.
Sounds dangerous. I'm in.
This should be pretty good for us. Understandable.
Firing. They don't know what they're up against.
Again, good news here is that Callista still has the Fearsome, so neither of these can block. They are... Ooh, not yet. They might be missing the Dragonling here. All right, well, no blocker for them, and we just get to swing out. And, yep. All right, there you go.